Hoy me he despertado con mucha tristeza.
Hey y'all! Welcome to Witty Witty Banter!
I'm Monica.
And I'm Paola, and today we have our Burning Questions episode. Woo-hoo! So if you tuned in to last week's episode, our Spicy Takes episode, we talked a little bit about how life is getting busier and busier as the weeks go by, as the months go by. Theory started school again. He's a senior at UNT, and things are getting hectic for all students out there.
And Monica, then we have some traveling going on. So my family and I are traveling, as well as you and your husband. Y'all are going to be traveling too. So if you notice that there's like a couple of similarities, no, you don't.
You've seen nothing.
You've seen nothing. All right. This is the second episode we're recording on Friday, August 16th. Okay. We've always said we're going to be upfront and real with you guys, and that includes our recording schedule.
Yeah, because I'm sure as the year keeps getting busier, we're going to have to do some more modifications.
Oh, yeah.
So we're just bringing you guys on the journey. And because it was so quick turnaround, we didn't get a chance to ask you guys to ask us questions. So Monica and I have thought of some questions to ask each other.
Yeah, because apparently we didn't know a lot of things about each other from the last burning questions.
Mm-hmm.
So,
because I had no idea we had learned the same song. Like, if you don't know what we're talking about,
go
watch Burning Questions episode 4, and you'll understand where we're coming from.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're ready?
Yeah.
Because Monica doesn't know what I'm gonna ask her, and she doesn't know, or I don't know what she's gonna ask me. So
yeah, and there might be a theory question in there too. Like I've been promoting the hell out of a theory question, and he does have a microphone. He just won't be on camera. All right, guys.
So you'll get to hear.
You'll get to hear. Just
he didn't know we were gonna do that either.
Yeah.
So
surprise attack. You know.
All right, Monica. My first question, my first burning question. It's like, I've known you for so long, and I know a few things of like what annoys you or like what triggers you, but I want to know your number one pet peeve. What is your number one pet peeve?
Oh, Lord. Okay. So I think for me, and I think it goes along with teaching as well, because if I have to repeat myself multiple times and you still don't get it, like, I can't help you. It can't be helped. It can't be solved. And that's in any aspect. That's in any part of my day. It can be teaching. It could be in conversations. It could be conversations with Marco. I'm just kind of, shout out Marco. I'm just kind of like, I never talk about him. I'm going to go ahead and start because you talk about your husband. And so I'm just like, you know what? Real life. Okay. So whenever I'm talking to Marco, I'm just kind of like, hey, like, and this is the perfect example too. I'll ask him to ask either his mom or his sister, because those are the two people that we see a lot of the time. And I'm just like, hey, like, can you ask your mom if we're gonna do so and so, like such and such, or hey, like, can you make sure it's okay with your sister if I like come over at this time? You know, it's just very generic, like, you know, things that you would, some basic questioning, and then I won't get an answer until the day of, even though I've asked like the week before, you know? And so it's just something that I've had to practice patience with, because obviously I care about this person very, very much. I love him very, very much. But it's in every aspect of my everyday life. If I have to repeat something over and over and over and over and over, I will lose it at some point. But I have been practicing a lot more patience with it, because again, you know, the people that you love, they deserve a little bit of some, you know, some grace. We talked about grace before, but it's hard. It's hard to give people grace. It's just like, you heard me the second time. At least I give you the second time, not even the first. I give you 2 times. And if I have to repeat it one more, nope. I'm done.
Girl.
Checked out.
Yeah, you wouldn't survive in the classroom.
No, that's why I've only done one-on-one. That's why I've never been, and I did the subbing thing before. I was like, no, absolutely not.
Girl,
in any grade.
as a teacher, you have to repeat yourself 1,000,000,000 times.
Oh, yeah.
Like infinitely every single day. I remember having to say the same thing every single time my kids came to my room. And at first it was annoying. I'm not going to lie. Nobody wants to repeat themselves. Like nobody wants to feel like they're ignored, because I think that that's where the trigger is like if you have to repeat yourself,
Yeah.
it's because like the other person isn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Right? And so you have to get over the fact that they're not listening to you, and you have to repeat yourself and think of it in a way that like, okay, in order for these little children minds to develop, they have to hear these things over and over and over and over and over again. So I had to change my perspective on that. With adults though, if I have to repeat myself with adults, that's a different story. But children, I was able to gain that patience that you're talking about, because it's like, okay, they're 6. I can't be too upset.
Right. No, but even like if I'm having a conversation with somebody and I'm literally like super excited to have this conversation, like, oh my gosh, you will never believe, like, let's say I'm talking about the nomination consideration, right? Because that's a big deal to me, by the way, nomination consideration.
Oh, wait, you also have a video.
I do have a video. It's coming out today. There's so much stuff
August
happening.
16th. Yeah. So it's been out for 2 weeks at this point.
Yeah. But when I'm having a conversation with somebody and I'm so excited to talk about what I'm talking about, and their attention span is like over here, or I'm in the middle of a conversation with my brother and my brother's going, yeah, mom, so the other day, it's like, bro, like, I'm talking to you. Yeah. Exactly. Or like I'll be on the phone with somebody, like a family member, and they're like, hey, blah, 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 blah. It's like, I'm talking to you. Like, pay attention to me.
I know.
It's all I want.
I feel like we both have a good understanding of like each other's communication styles and like love languages. So
that was actually gonna be my next question.
Really? Oh.
I was like, she's gonna beat me to it. I know she's gonna beat me to it.
We have the same brain.
For real. Like a lot of people, whenever they see us talking and we say the same thing at the same time, they're like,
how they do that? We have a little in-ear where we just transmit our
it's
thoughts.
In the inside of the headphone.
No, but I think we've never had a fight.
No.
Like ever in our 14 years of friendship, which a lot of people don't know either. So I think that that's one of the reasons.
Yeah. No,
we understand each other. We get it.
For real. And that was something that, because we've talked about therapy before. Mm-hmm. And that was something I brought up with my therapist at one point in time. And I was just like, there's a couple of friends that I've had in my life, 20 plus years, 13 plus years, 14 plus years. And I've never had an argument with them. Nothing like below surface level, you know, if there was a disagreement
I
with
don't
something.
Even think we've had a disagreement.
Even then, yeah. But I was like, those friends have stuck around. And even if I haven't seen them in years or months or whatever, we come back and it's like, it's nothing.
Like it's not new, but it's just like, it's brand new in a way of like, oh, you're a different person because I haven't seen you in like 3 years. I think, what was the longest time? It took a long,
yeah, that was like one of the longest
3
times.
or 4 years, right? Maybe 5.
I want to say,
like we would see each other periodically, like maybe once a year.
Yeah, but I think it was because you were going to UNT and I was still here.
Yeah, and that's we were like too far away.
Yeah, but
to
then
really connect. Yeah,
you know, God brings us back together. But yeah, ultimately, I was bringing that to my therapist one day, and she was like, "That's what good relationships are. That's what healthy friendships are." Because I did have friends that I would fight with, and I'm just like, this is not a normal thing.
Yeah,
you can still love them, but it's just like it just doesn't feel right.
Right, dude. That brings me up to another point. It's like we've never had to beg each other to be or feel seen by one another.
Right.
You know, and I think that that's another big point in our relationship is that we understand that things get crazy, but if you call me or text me with whatever it is, I will drop anything. The same thing with you. Like, or even if it's like, girl, I can't call right now. I can't talk. I'm really busy right now, but I see this and I acknowledge you. Yeah. And I am thinking of you, you know, as long as it's something like supportive, even if we can't always be there. I think that that's also been a really big highlight and something that I am grateful for in our
Yeah.
friendship, because no matter what, we always come back like nothing.
Yeah.
And we are excited for each other. And now we're venturing into the podcast world and we see each other
Hey.
every week.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's
She hasn't gotten tired of
it
me
is huge.
just yet, but
Give me
you know-
another month.
No, but ultimately our communication has always been key.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter if it's, we've talked about high energy, low energy, those
Mhm.
friendships too, they matter. And I'm thankful for our friendship.
Yeah, me too.
I really am, because it's been a
Gonna do a
beautiful
little
thing.
awkward hand hug?
Yeah. Yeah. No, but I love it. I do. And, you know, ultimately communication has always been key. We really have never had a fight.
Yeah.
You ready to go? No, I'm kidding.
Girl, after this,
She
here,
said,
you better hold my earrings. No, I'm kidding. Because 2 episodes in a row, girl,
I
you got me
mean,
heated. No,
you got me messed up.
No,
No.
just kidding.
See? Oh, this girl.
Well, my pet peeve is my pet peeve is actually not related to relationships or like personal things. It's related to drivers. Okay,
Yep.
so if you're in Dallas and you be driving out here, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
You know who you are.
Mm-hmm. Y'all better be careful out there. PSA, please be safe out
When
on
I'm
the
on the road.
roads. When I'm on the But no, my biggest pet peeve is when people do not put their blinker.
Mhm.
And it goes with communication,
Yep.
because we are handling big machinery that we are entrusted to
Drive
correctly so that we don't hurt anybody or ourselves.
Yeah.
And part of it is being able to do nonverbal communication. And nonverbal communication when you're driving means putting your blinkers on. I'm going to merge here on the left. I am going to take a turn here on the right. I'm not slowing down because I'm on my phone. You know, it's
also
like
making sure you're looking before you get into the next lane. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's another one.
Yeah, so that's my biggest pet peeve, because I got into a car accident because somebody didn't put their right turn lane, and they were turning and they didn't slow down to where it gave me the signal that like, I should slow down. They just like turned, and it was just like, come on, bro.
I'm gonna turn here.
Yeah, it was like, bro, you
basically.
didn't tell me what you were thinking. Like, I need to know so that I can act accordingly.
Yeah, because you don't read minds, you know?
Right.
Nobody does. Well, some people do, but ultimately, you can't just perceive that that's gonna happen.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I understand that pet peeve 100% of the time.
PSA announcement: use your blinkers.
Drive carefully.
Be safe. Stay at the speed limit. Like 2 minutes ain't nothing.
Mhm.
Okay, it's either your life or getting there 5-10 minutes late. Be
And
safe.
if you were really paying attention to time, you'd have gotten there early.
Period.
Just saying.
Mm.
Just saying.
All right, moving on. We're getting a little too sassy.
Okay, so my question for you, because you kind of mentioned it, which is okay.
Mhm.
It's fine. It's fine. It's whatever. But my question for you is, what is your love language? Or if there is multiple love language, explain.
Yeah. Oh, I love this question. My 2 biggest love languages to receive love are affirmations and touch. So
Mhm.
like for me, if me and my husband are out and I feel like he's too distant from me, I am going to feel a little type of way. Now, granted, whenever we're out at a party or like an event or a Sabor Puro gig, like it's understood that we are going to be doing this the entire time. Like we're going to be in different zones. Like he takes care of different things than I do. We're going to be walking around. I'm going to be networking with other people. You know, it's going to be that type of
the artistry.
Yeah, exactly. But if we're at dinner and like we're all just hanging out and it's just like, come on, just get a little closer with me. You know, like I just need that sense of comfort and security.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so touch for sure. Like I'm always the type of person that like will just like
At least, yeah.
Here's my toe.
Under the table.
Yeah, here you go. Here's my toe. I love you.
Just know that I'm here. Know that I'm here.
Just better know that. No. And then affirmations, just like getting told that I'm doing correctly, or like that I am doing the right thing, or like just words of
Right.
affirmation of like, you're on the right path,
Proud of you.
I'm proud of you. Like I need that. I need my partner to make me feel like they believe in me.
Yeah.
Like I need that support. And
Yeah.
so words of affirmation definitely lift me up. It makes me feel like he understands where I'm coming from, where I am in life, where my brain is at, and he sees me.
Yeah.
So that's what I prefer. And then to the people that I love, the way I love to show that I care is by giving gifts.
Yeah.
I'm a Capricorn,
There you
and
go.
Capricorns, have the bad rep about being all about the money and the material things. And to me, it's like, if I have the means, I will get you what you want.
Yeah.
If it's Christmas time, I'm not gonna be the person to give you what you need. I'm gonna be the person who's gonna ask you, like, girl, what's something you've been wanting?
Yeah.
Like, what's something you don't have the money to buy right now, but you've been wanting? That's what I do. I try to be thoughtful with the gifts that I give, but be extra and give you something nice,
Yeah.
not just like, here's some socks that you needed, girl, I saw you had a hole in your sock.
Right, right.
It's like, no, if you really needed it, you would go out and buy it.
Right. Yeah.
So that's how I show love. Christian has taught me how to love him, and now I also do acts of service, because that's how he prefers to be loved. And it was hard for him to accept the gifts that I would give him. Like the first gift I gave him was a fossil watch, like old-timey fossil watch. It was for his birthday. I think it was the first year we were together, and he was just like, what the fuck? Like, nobody has ever given me
This is a lot.
Yeah, he was like, this is a lot. Like, I don't know how to receive this, and I'm not the type of person who is always just like attentive to you. Like, I'm very independent, and so sometimes I expect other people to be independent, and Christian is very independent.
Yeah.
But he prefers to get what he needs instead of to get the things that he wants.
Yeah.
Like, so I had to learn that not everybody is comfortable receiving the gifts that I give. So now I try to be more intentional and more thoughtful with that process.
I see.
So yeah, I think I covered all of the things.
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you?
See, okay. So me receiving love, right? It's a little bit of the same. I do genuinely love physical touch, but it took me a long time to get there. A lot of my relationships were, and I say relationships because there have been a few. I mean, you've seen all throughout time, but majority of my relationships, they weren't necessarily bad. They were just necessarily not good for myself and my self-esteem, right? Because on one aspect of everything, I was super confident in my singing and my performing and whatever I could potentially do as an artist. But on the personal side of things, I talk a lot, right? I'm very talkative. I can talk to anybody. I can, get comfortable with people I've never met before. But internally, I am a shy person. I do tend to nowadays keep to myself. I don't typically like go out of my way unless it's somebody that's super, super important. But that was also me growing up. Like, you would see me at school and I'm like, hey girl, how's it going? Whatever, being super, super outgoing. And then at home, like, I would just feel a certain way about the day. Like, I should have done this and I should have done that. So all in all, to say, like, physical touch was not my favorite thing growing up because, still figuring things out, still trying to figure out who I was. And that also goes into it, like my family and I, we would hug and, kiss on the cheek, I love you, things like that. So it's not anything to do with that aspect. It's just my relationship with, boys that I always had an issue with because I always felt like I was the awkward person. Always. I didn't never feel like I never knew what to do with my hands. I didn't know if I could hold their hand. We had rules in the house about like not sitting too close. So as an adult, I was like, okay, where do I go with this? Like,
what is the line?
What is the line that we do not cross? Because there was always rules about certain things. So now as an adult, I'm in this wonderful relationship. I've been with Marco for about a year now, you know. My parents, they're always about keeping the image nice and respectable for my career. And so I know they're going to be like, "Why did you say that?" It's out of love. It's out of love and protection, right?
Mhm.
But me and my dad had a conversation one time and he was like, "Monica, listen to me." I was like, "Oh, okay." Because we had just gotten together a year ago at this point. And he was like, "Look, your career is taking off. You're doing amazing things. You shouldn't be putting your personal life out there. You shouldn't be talking about these kinds of things. And, ultimately, when we're out in public, you need to look like a star and not somebody that's just walking in with their boyfriend." And again, out of love. So there's never, I need you to understand that is just how my family and I have always been. But this relationship is a little different. I'm 30 years old now. At the time when we first got together, I was 29. And I told dad, I was like, "Look, this is the very first time I feel like this is a very healthy relationship. This guy is taking care of me. He is affirming me in the fact that I am doing the right thing in life." How you were saying, uplifting. Um, him loving me is very much like communication and support and things like that. I know that's not like the list of like love languages, but support to me is the biggest deal. Support to me is like the biggest deal, even if it's something that I don't necessarily want to do, like whenever he plays soccer.
Marco, you hearing this?
Even if it's something I don't necessarily like to do, I'm gonna go and I'm gonna cheer him on because it's something that he loves to do.
Right.
He's gonna come support me at my shows because it's something that I like to do. And I told my dad a long time ago, I was like, "Look, I really like this person. I'm really falling for this person. I don't want to take away a sentiment of loving me to where he never does it whenever we get older."
Yeah.
So if he's holding my hand, I'm going to let him hold my hand. If he's hugging me, if he's showing compassion to me, if he's kissing me on the forehead, I think I'm at that age where I feel comfortable in being in that light, you know? A lot of people, when they look at singers like us, like female singers, they want us to look single forever, but we're never going to be, I mean, God willing, we're never going to be this young again.
Right.
So I get it in an aspect of like promoting and marketing.
Right.
But there's also the personal side of things too. I don't want to like just live a life of not having a family or not getting married or not being loved by somebody that potentially could give me those things.
Right. One thing that I struggled with was the idea of not having my singing voice again. Like if I wasn't able to sing ever again, am I worthy?
Right.
Like having to,
because we put a lot into the worth of our singing.
Right. And so I went through a whole thing of like, you know what, if I wasn't a singer, who would I be? Like, what am I? Who am I?
Right.
And us choosing to have a relationship and not promote ourselves as single women is part of our identity, and it's part of who we are, regardless of our talents, because I don't know about you, but I find that as soon as people hear me sing, it's like a shift of like attention.
Yep.
So it's like I could abuse that power.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that do.
And seeing my way through everything, but I don't think that I want to live my life that way. And I think that we're both in that position where we get to choose, like, who do we put value in? How do we live our lives? How do we want to move forward with our lives in this light? Like, I think it's okay to be open about our relationships. I think it's okay to show affection out in public.
I think it's important. Because the way that you start the relationship is how the relationship is going to be. If I were to sit there and tell Marco every single time, like, "Babe, stop holding my hand,"
he's going to stop.
He's going to stop and never do it ever again. It's like, you're creating this life with this person, whether they stay or whether they go. Thank God, we've made it a year. And that's a big deal for me because Ultimately, I haven't been the most successful in relationships, and I've also kept them very private,
Mhm.
But with this relationship, if you see me and he's in town, he's going to go to my gig. He's going to show up. So loving me is definitely physical touch. I do like holding hands. I do like feeling like, you're proud to be next to me.
Yes.
You
Show me
love me,
off.
show me off.
Yeah.
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 Because I didn't do all of this for nothing.
Mhm.
But ultimately, yeah, physical touch is one. And then acts of service. I do like the way that, because like last weekend is one of those things where I'm just kind of like, I would have never picked this. He was like, hey, like I have some plans, but dress comfortably and I'll tell you about them later. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Mhm.
I like being surprised. I used to never
Oh, I
like being
love
surprised.
surprises.
I used
I
to
love
never
them.
like it, but now I love it because I'm just like,
Because you trust
ooh,
the person that is surprising you.
yeah,
Like Christian, he surprises me all the time. He does a lot of acts of service as well.
yeah,
And that like definitely makes you feel so special, and it makes you feel like you're the only person
yeah,
that like is going through this, like I don't know, it makes you feel like you're the only
exactly.
person in the world, and you and your person can go through anything and everything. And yeah, it's a bond that we create, like you said, at the beginning of the relationship.
Yeah, and he's always been like that from the very get go. From the very, very get go, he thinks about things. Now, have I ever did a rooftop cinema watching Ratatouille together with headphones and have
Oh,
like
that's
snacks? No, I've
cute.
never done that. I've never experienced that. But for him, it's like, oh, what does she want to do? What would possibly like be a good idea? Oh, let's do this. Oh, let's for his birthday, I was like, you know what? Let's go to Andretti's because we just opened it up here in Grand
Oh, that's
Prairie
right. Mm-hmm.
by the Epic. No, I'm kidding.
Hey.
But in Grand Prairie, there's an Andretti's, and it's race go karts.
Yes. Yeah,
They're
yeah.
very, very fast, and so I was like, they're open late because he works a different kind of shift, and like I can make dinner and we can do this and we can do that, and he loved it. And
Mm-hmm.
acts of services are the way that we love each other.
Yeah.
And it's important for how you're building your relationship at the very beginning to now. I'm never going to say that it's a perfect thing because sometimes there's miscommunications, or
Right.
sometimes the timing is just off. We don't live together. He lives a little bit further than I do, and but as long as the effort and the communication is there, or the trying to have communication, then we're doing pretty good,
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, mom and dad. I know
Yeah.
y'all don't like me talking about my relationship, and it's never against him. They love him.
Yeah,
They like him.
yeah. Ah.
They like him, and my brother too. My brother's really hard to please.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't really, and there's nothing wrong with that. He's just a very specific type person. He wants to make sure that I have the best of everything. My brother's been very protective of me,
Yeah.
and they get along.
Oh, good.
And that is like
Yay.
the blessing of the whole thing, So shout out to my family. I know that they love me and that they protect me and that they want the best for me. And, but we always said on this podcast, we're going to be real,
Yeah. Ultimately, that's the bottom line here.
Yeah.
Ain't no fake girls here.
All right.
That was so good.
Yes.
Okay. My next question is, who is your celebrity lookalike?
Oh, goodness. See, the thing is I don't think I look like anybody, but I mean, I could be wrong, right? So growing up, I always got told that I look like this little girl, and not how she's looking now. It was like back in the day. But her name is Allison Stoner. She's a dancer. She was also on Disney. She was on Camp Rock. I'll show you here in just a second. Because like if I show you how she looks like as an adult, you're gonna be like, I don't really see it. So like, right? Like
I don't know. Hold on, wait.
she's like, wait,
Actually, hold on. What I was picturing in my head is not this picture. Okay, you got the chin a little bit,
It's
like
the
it's a little
chin.
pointy, but
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah. No,
Yeah, no.
but as the kid, like the kid version of herself, let me find it. And I guess it was because I was like more like, I don't know, like tomboyish, I guess, as a kid. No. She said 100% with that answer.
If you haven't seen Monica's video of her singing "My Heart Will Go On,"
we'll put a still shot here, and then we'll put the Allison Stoner picture there.
This is it right here. You just need to put Allison in like a pink, beautiful dress, and
darker.
It's Monica.
So they've said Allison Stoner, right? That's one of them. And then I never understood Julia Roberts. There we go. I'm like, I don't know why. I can't freaking think of the woman's name, but I had a teacher a long time ago.
I'm like, Julia Roberts.
A long time ago, where he was like, you know, like if you smile really, really big. If you smile really, really big, you look just like her. And I'm like,
bro. And you're like, I'm emo. I don't smile.
This was middle school. So I'm like, I really don't see it. I mean, she's a very pretty woman. No pun intended. No pun intended. But it's
not. Let me see you. No, she's not smiling big right here.
Oh.
Do the.
She said,
nah, fam. I don't see it.
But yeah, I used to get those all the time. I think the Allison Stoner one is gonna be
when you were little, but now I think you guys just have the same like pointy chin.
Yeah,
like it's
just
a nice little V. Yeah, I think that's what it is. But other than that, no, I don't think.
No,
I don't think so. Yeah.
What about you?
So in high school, the one I would always get called. I would literally be walking down the hallways at Booker T, and I would hear somebody be like, Sophie, is that you, Sophie? And I would be like, who the fuck is Sophie? I'm like, y'all know my name. My name is Sylvia. Like, bruh.
Right.
And it turns out that Sophie is a character in the show Corey in the House.
Yeah.
And
on Disney, everybody.
On Disney. And when they told me, and I looked her up, I was like, okay, fine.
Kind of see
I
it.
guess. And this is her as an adult.
Oh yeah.
Which I'm not mad at. I mean, I think it's just the curly hair.
Well, another thing too that she was in, if you remember the movie with The Rock, she was in The Game Plan.
Oh, yes.
Okay. So she's this cute little girl that does ballerina moves and things like that. But she does. You do. It's the curly hair.
It's the curly hair.
It's the face structure. I can definitely see it.
So I guess Madison Petties is my celebrity lookalike.
Yeah, it's I can see it though.
Oh, this is the one where I think she was
little Sylvia.
Yeah, it looks like me when she's little. I do see the little one too.
I see it. Mm-hmm. Oh my god!
So maybe this question is more of like, who's your child lookalike? Celebrity
child.
Who's your child celebrity lookalike?
Yeah. No, I can see it. I can see it as the adult too. I just can't see it as like. No, I can see it. 100%.
She's cute. I like her. So
she's like, I like my lookalike.
Not mad at it.
No, mine went ahead and like shaved her head and dyed it blonde and everything, and she's healing. She's healing. She's just like me. I'm healing too.
Mm-hmm. And I think she has a podcast too.
Yeah,
about her healing journey. And you can tune in. But shout out to all the podcasters out there.
Yeah. All right, now
the final question.
I did want to save one question for Theory,
mm-hmm.
because again, I am always the one that's just like, shout out to the editor.
I know. I need to be better about that. I love you, Theory. I really do.
He knows. He knows. All right,
I'll bring you a gift next time.
The most expensive thing.
I'll bring you a new microphone set.
A new mixer.
So, your question is for Theory.
Okay, Theory. So, let's see. Because I'm like, do I want to make it personal or do I want to make it editorial? If you could do anybody's interview, that's including audio, video, everything like that. If you could interview anybody or be a part of the interview for anybody, who would it be and why?
That's a good question. Dang. I'm stalling to give you time.
Right.
But it was a good question.
That That is a hard one for me.
Welcome, Theory, to the podcast.
Yeah, I do have a microphone, everybody. I can speak. It's just muted all the time. So like you're saying
Anybody.
anybody, and I get to do like the video and audio and all the stuff.
Yes. I put you on the spot. I know.
I have no idea.
Take your time.
Okay. Okay. So I guess this is because of the current times.
All right.
Hello. Hello.
Nah. I'm gonna get you a new mic, baby.
Hello.
And we
Is it
can cut
working?
this off. Yeah.
Can we hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Right now, if I had to pick, oh Jesus,
Oh
my,
That was good though. That was good. That was good.
No, that's
No,
good. Don't
keep
touch
it.
it. Don't
Don't
touch it.
touch
Don't touch
it.
it.
is it? This sounds good.
It
No
sounds
lo
good.
toques.
Okay.
It sounds good.
If I had to pick right now, I would interview Kamala Harris.
Yes.
Because I am pretty into politics.
Yes.
Believe it or not, like I do follow a lot of sectors of politics very closely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that sometimes it's frustrating as someone with the media background. Interviewing is a skill.
Yes, it is.
It is very hard to do. And I feel like sometimes people who have the opportunity to interview people with that kind of influence don't ask the right questions.
Amen.
And I think that, I've seen my generation, they have a lot of concerns and people are kind of dancing around asking her these hard questions that they want to hear. So I feel like if I had the opportunity, I would try and ask the questions that people directly want an answer to, just to give everyone a chance to like warm up or I guess cool down, either way
Right,
to
yeah.
the politicians properly because, we haven't gotten a proper chance to really see what she's about yet.
Right.
So right now, that would be my answer.
Okay,
Yes.
I like it.
An educated king. We love it. We love to see it.
Period. That's why he's going to school, y'all.
Yes.
He's educated.
Mhm. I love that answer.
I do too. That's a great answer.
We need to do that more.
Yeah, I know, and you sound so good.
Look at you. You got a
Okay.
podcast voice and everything.
Mm.
Told that before.
Ah.
You've been what?
Hello. I've been told that. Oh. Hello.
We lost you, bro. You're gone.
Does it work?
Oh.
I don't know how this microphone works. All right.
Okay. So
I have been told that before.
yeah. From behind the scenes to behind the mic
Mm-hmm. And then eventually we'll have you right here with us. Come on.
on the hot seat.
Monica, who would you interview?
Whew. That's a very good question. That's a
Remember when we
very,
were
very
planning
good question?
the whole podcast like format and everything? We made a whole list of like who we want on the podcast, and of course we went with like all the local artists.
Yeah,
and
but now we're
everything.
just kind of checking that off as we go.
Mhm.
No, but I think one time we had mentioned Daddy Yankee, but we
Mhm.
put him as like a Christian artist.
So for those of you who do not know, Daddy Yankee is a reggaetonero, one of the OGs, with the famous song Gasolina. Gasolina. So he actually quit the reggaeton genre to focus on Christianity and Christian music. And so while we were talking about the podcast, we were brainstorming the type of people we wanted to bring on to our
Mhm.
podcast, and we wanted to make sure we were very inclusive in the process. We want to make sure that this is a safe space for people to voice their opinions, people to tell their story, and we wanted to make sure that we covered all aspects of everything. Yeah, all the current issues that are going on right now, all the different opinions that are being heard around social media, down the street, everywhere. And so we wanted to make sure that we gave everybody a voice. And we're like, yeah, he's gonna have to be our Christian representation.
Yeah, we're manifesting that at some
Mhm.
point.
So Daddy Yankee, if you ever hear this,
Come on, call me baby.
That's not very Christian.
I didn't say.
He's married.
Damn it.
So yeah, he was definitely on our list of like people we would want to interview. And I think I would love to manifest that for sure, because
Yeah.
I think it's a crazy like life that you would turn around
And
all
a
of
big
this
shift.
fame and glory of the reggaeton era that he's from.
Yeah.
And
It's
turning
immediate.
it all around and doing it for the Lord. So yeah, definitely would love to have Daddy Yankee up in here.
Yeah.
Who else?
Let's see. Because it's mostly like the ones that we're thinking about definitely are manifestations, hopefully to happen at some point. But if we're doing like kind of closer to home type things, it would be cool to have Chris Bettis on the show.
Oh, girl,
It would be
speaking my language.
so cool.
He was also on our list.
Yeah, not as a Christian artist though, but
although he had his face.
yeah, no, I think it would be cool to hear his side of the story. I mean, I know he talks about Selena a lot. He was the husband of Selena Quintanilla.
And he wrote a book.
And he did write a book, and he is
Gets me every
still
time.
performing. He's still, doing his thing. But he does come to the Grand Prairie area ever so often, and it would just be cool to hear, his side of the story, things like that. What he's doing now as far as music, because he's on the road and he's performing. He has a hot sauce line.
What? I didn't know that.
That's been around forever, girl.
Really?
And I've been waiting to get some. And I'm the type of person that I can't really have a lot of like spicy things. My stomach is like an old person's stomach. I'm like 60, like
in your gut
metabolically. But I would like to at least try it,
That would be so cool. No, I would definitely love
It'd
to
be
have
right here.
Chris Bettis. I would bring my book. I'd be like, I want to be that person. Can you sign it, please?
Hell yeah.
You
I have my book too.
I would ask him so many questions.
Yeah. And maybe a couple of questions that haven't been answered just yet, because I feel like the main ones have always been like, well, did you really love her? Did you do this? Did you do that? And really, and quite honestly, it's like, well, no shit. He still to this day misses her, loves her, things like that. But that would be pretty
that
cool.
would be amazing. So yeah, Chris Bettis, if you're listening, come on down.
Yeah.
We're going to have your homeboy AJ soon. So.
Yeah. He'll be here in the hot seat.
And our next interview episode will be...
actually AJ Solis.
Yeah.
So we're super excited about that. That's going to be September 17th. We're going to put him in the hot seat and get all of his story, because he's got an amazing one. Yeah. And a lot of people don't know it.
You guys are in for a treat.
He acts like he's all shy and everything. Like all super demure, super mindful.
But we know him.
No, but y'all have a very good time getting to know AJ, and we are super excited that he's agreed to come on the show. Yeah. And we've had a couple of interviews so far that have been top notch. I can't wait for this one to come up.
Yeah. So make sure to stay tuned, because we have a lot more coming up for you guys.
Yes.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to our Spotify. Follow us on Instagram and Facebook. We want to connect. We're also on TikTok. We'll be doing some challenges that are not podcast related, but we want to just have you guys join our relationship. We can make it a throuple.
And if you have any questions, any burning questions that you are dying to ask us, please reach out on all social media. Please reach out to our Gmail at Witty Witty Banter. And we hope that y'all have a good rest of your week.
Bye.
Bye.